Welcome, everybody. Dennis Wilson and Craig Peloquin. We're here to talk a little bit about mentoring and three-way calls.
Yeah, and first we have to brag a little bit about our just about professional studio. Still working on the kinks, but we've got a green screen, we've got lighting, all kinds of stuff we have no idea what to do with. So bear with us. We promise the quality should get better and better as the weeks go on, and our production guys teach us what to do better.
There you go. Yeah, and if we are sideways on the Facebook Live, sorry, because we didn't want to get this close together to have to turn the camera around. So we'll work on that stuff as it comes. If you don't like what you're seeing, jump on to Webinar Jam. You can find all our links. Just go to ouraday.com, and we do this every week. And today we're just going to talk about the importance of having a mentor.
Yeah, because, you know, with mentorship comes accountability and follow-up and all of these good principles that can help you become successful at any business, and especially, I think, the multi-level marketing business. So who's a mentor?
Right. Well, everybody can be a mentor. I mean, you have the ability in your team, whether it's going to be your upline, it could be a sideline, it could be, it could be somebody that's even in your business.
That's right. It could be just like a coach. It could be a friend who you say, hey, can you make sure that I enter 10 contacts into the hour-a-day system from my LinkedIn prospecting, and I'm going to text message you every night to tell you, just someone to keep you accountable to your actions, to make sure that you don't go on for a couple of weeks and remember that you didn't do anything for your business whatsoever.
That's right. And I mean, I use you as an accountability coach all the time, and vice versa. Now we've been in the same companies a few times, so that made sense. Now, even if you haven't got somebody, you got a friend, you just want to keep you accountable. Every time you go and talk to 10 people or 20 people, and you got to send a message to your buddy just to say you did it, holds you accountable.
That's right. And if you haven't sent one by the end of the day, hopefully there's an agreed upon time that he sends back to you saying, Craig, did you do your work today? Right? Because it is work. You have to look at this as a business, and in business, work gets done. You may not want to call it a job, which is probably good, because working for yourself is way harder than any job you'll ever have. But as you continue to build this business, you get way underpaid in the beginning and way overpaid in the end. So are you willing to do the work?
Right. Now, and that means not necessarily is your upline, your sponsor, going to be asking you to be mentored. You need to take the responsibility to seek out somebody that knows more about the business than you do, and is going to help hold your feet to the fire. And I guarantee you there's not a single sponsor or upline that isn't going to be excited when you phone them up and say, hey, look, I really want to build my business. I'm looking for a mentor. I need somebody to be able to hold me accountable. I'm willing to send you daily updates as to what I'm doing. We call it a ROMAR.
A ROMAR.
It stands for Record of My Activity Report. And it's as simple as just keeping track of what you're doing. How many people you prospected today. If you're using social media, and if you've been watching any of the things that we've been doing over the last little while, my LinkedIn prospecting system.
That's right.
It's free. LinkedIn is free unless you have a premium account, but I show you how to use it without a premium account. Hour a day is free.
Up to 2,000 communications a month. And
I can tell you, you need to do a lot of communications. It'd be a few months before you're ever going to be over 2,000 communications in a month.
You'll be making more money in retail profit than it ever costs you to pay us the $29 a month when you outgrow the free version. So yeah, you'll be fine. And
I mean, think about it this way, from a simple way of doing business. Keep yourself accountable. So when I talk about connecting with people and being accountable on my LinkedIn system, if I could show you a way, and this is what I teach you, just 10 minutes every morning. 10 minutes. Do you have 10 minutes to want to build your business? That's not a lot of time.
No.
I mean, think about that. You're having a cup of coffee. By the time you made your cup of coffee and drink your first cup of coffee in the morning, you could connect with 10 potential people to be either customers or distributors in your business. And following my system, the way that I've done it, and understand, when I say it's my system, I had never used LinkedIn before.
That's right.
I'd never been on it. I started LinkedIn when I started working with my company, and I built up now over 3 years. I have about 4,500 connections. Believe me, you cannot keep track of everybody and do the follow-ups. LinkedIn has changed all their systems over the last little bit. So it's not as easy to use LinkedIn. Even with a premium account, it's not as easy to use it anymore. And LinkedIn, you need a way to be able to know when to follow up with somebody.
Right.
And when it's time. And that's what powering it be with the hour a day free prospecting system, putting the two together has made it really easy to go and connect. So if you just did 10 a day, that's 10 minutes, folks. I'm not talking about 100 a day. I'm not talking about 20 a day. 20 a day, you won't keep it up. 10 a day,
you keep it up.
It's 300 people a month, except in February, it was only 280. But it's 300 connections a month.
Right.
You can't keep up with 300 connections a month
without some kind of automation. Yeah.
And I did it, and the system reminds you. You just log into Hour a Day in the morning, and it reminds you who to literally not talk to, but copy, paste into LinkedIn messaging. I've already created all the verbiage.
Yep.
So in Hour a Day, it's already there. All you have to do is just copy paste. I don't even really know who I'm talking to. I just go, I got to talk to this person. I find them on LinkedIn. I paste in the next message. And all I'm trying to do is create an engagement.
That's right. Create a conversation.
But in the Hour a Day system, there's a mentoring function, which is what we're talking about. Right. So if you've got your upline following what you're doing, they're going to see all your activity. They're going to know at the end of the day, if you've got this list of people that you were supposed to talk to, or if it's at the end of the day, it's at 0. And you'll be able to see every connection and every contact and be able to help you do the follow-up, which is what we're going to be talking about as well today, is not only mentoring, your mentoring needs to do the 3-way phone call, because the 3-way phone call is the most important part of the whole process.
Exactly. And you can think of it as the Hour a Day system with the mentoring function is going to help you stay accountable to someone. Right? If your downline wants to be accountable to you, that's awesome. But the reality is what you need to do is find a way to keep yourself accountable to someone. So have them in your list creator app so they're getting updates when you're doing the work. I can't look over here. I have to look over there.
That's right. You got to look over
there. So have them in your list creator app as your mentor. Have them in your Hour a Day system as your mentor so that they can just be keeping track and you can always feel like they're watching you, because you're your own worst enemy. We all know it. We just don't do anything. We get to the end of the week and we're like, gosh, my commission check's going to be nothing. This thing isn't working. And then if you can actually go see your results for the week and realize that the thing's working just fine, you just aren't working, right? So this is what it is. It's accountability to yourself by way of being accountability to a system, by way of being accountable to an upline or an external mentor. So it's all about keeping you on track. Once you get you on track, you'll be surprised how much of your downline is happy to have you help them keep on track. And as you said before, I would never, ever be anything other than ecstatic if someone in my downline came to me and said, Dennis, will you keep me accountable? Will you make sure I make 5 phone calls a day? Will you do? Absolutely. I got time all day long for that kind of stuff. Will you train me on how to do a 3-way call? Or will you keep me accountable? Where do you think my time goes?
Well, exactly. Now let's talk about the 3-way call, because the 3-way call, everybody, is this phone that everybody's so scared of picking up and talking to somebody.
They get lighter and lighter too, but
they
somehow,
do.
They're lighter and lighter, but somehow people still can't pick them up and put them to their ear.
This is where the money's made. If you think that you're going to build a business and you're not going to pick up this phone that weighs 5,000 pounds, and you're going to actually build an MLM by just pushing a button and hoping everybody's going to join, I'm sorry, in my opinion, you're sadly mistaken. Now, other people may disagree. Other people think that, oh no, you don't need to pick up the phone.
If you want to build it to last, and you want to build it based upon people staying on auto ship or staying on their monthly commitment and loving the products and loving the company and continuing to do it, you need to form relationships. Now, you may not need to be on the phone per se, but you're going to need to be text chatting like crazy. You're going to need to be in real-time communication, making friends, getting to know each other, and building trust, more so than an internet system that people just sign up and you never talk to them and supposedly it's supposed to duplicate itself.
Yeah,
they do. They work. You can get all kinds of people from some of these automated systems. The problem is they're in this month, they're out the next month, and if too much of the people on your team do that, you could kill your MLM with it. Because refunds and chargebacks and stuff created from poor prospecting can actually have an impact on your MLM company. So do things right.
So the 3-way call is really important. We're going to be going in at the end of this, and we're going to be finishing out the Facebook Live here. We wanted to say hi check out houraday.com. It's free. Check out my LinkedIn system. Go on to LinkedIn, .com. I'm the only Craig Peloquin in the book. It's easy to find me. There's not like Dennis Wilson.
No, I'm Dennis Wilson. There's lots and lots.
So you got to go Dennis Wilson, MLM, or Small Biz Dream.
That's right.
Right. So you got to find. It's easy to find Dennis, but do that. Find the system that we're using. Jump onto this will be replayed, and we'll be going into a full PowerPoint presentation online. But the idea here was to say, hey, we're here. It's March 1st. Start building your team.
Yep.
This is the time to make the commitment to do it. Get yourself a mentor. Start making some phone calls and build yourself a team. So we're going to say goodbye to our Facebook fans here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Good to see you all. And we're going to continue on with our webinar. Thanks, everybody.
All right. So, I mean, let's talk a little bit about the three-way call and why it's important. So I think a lot of people get confused with the three-way call, Craig, in that they think that the three-way call is like an ambush call, or it's somehow an evil and awful thing. But let me explain that it's actually the opposite. The three-way call that you do with your upline is really about preserving your own relationships. Okay, so you have a friend, and when you go to that friend to tell them about your business that you're really excited, you're stupidly excited. You're excitedly stupid. You're probably a bit of both at that point. But the point is,
well, you're unconsciously incompetent.
That's
you
right.
don't even know what it is that you don't know.
You're just excited, man. You're a little ball of energy, freaking out, excited, and they're going, what? Right? So what happens when you get on a call to say, hey, I found this neat thing. I'm not sure if you like it or not, but would you take a look at it? And they start saying, what is it? Is it one of them pyramid things? And you don't really know what to do next. And you start answering questions, and you get into a big conversation, and then they tell you that network marketing is bad and you're going to lose all your money, and you tell them, no, it's not bad. They told me that it's not bad, and I believe it's not bad, and I'm not going to lose all my money. And now you have a big fight going on with your friend. But if you had a three-way call, I'd get on the phone and I'd introduce you. And then you talk to them about all those things. And if it went negative after we're done, I'd say to my friend, man, I'm sorry about that Craig guy. I didn't know he was going to do that to you. But you know what? That guy's making a lot of money. So you and I team up. Imagine what we could do not behaving like him. And your relationship's intact. You've deflected any negativity towards the industry due to lack of understanding to the upline. Your relationship's intact. You just didn't know. You were the bystander.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that if you do it on your own, you're not being duplicatable.
Also, right?
And
you don't know the answers to all the questions. And if you wait until you do, it's too late.
And then the person thinks, in order for me to do the business, I've got to be just like Craig, or I have to be just like Dennis, or just like John, or just like Mary. I have to know all the answers. I've got to pick up the phone and talk to my friends. I've got to spend, because typically if you're doing it on a three-way yourself, you're going to spend a half hour, 45 minutes, an hour on the telephone.
And you'll spend too long.
So, on the phone. And they're going to realize, I can't do this business.
They're going to go, I have to study first. So I'm going to take the next 6 months to learn all this stuff, and then I'll get started.
Yeah.
You think they will?
No.
You think they'll get started?
Well, I mean, you have the perfect example of in your first days of doing it all wrong, driving all, an hour across, into downtown Vancouver in rush hour to go meet with somebody over lunch. I think you probably paid for lunch too, didn't you?
I did.
You did. Gave him all the information, drove all the way back home because you were there for hours, giving him all the best answers to the questions.
Because he kept asking questions.
And you
kept answering because I wasn't busy. I had nothing else. He was the guy.
Yeah, he was the guy who's going to do it. And then drive all the way back home in rush hour traffic to follow up the next day. And he said, Dennis, I just don't have the time.
I can never do what you do. I don't have enough time. I have a job. And I was like, huh.
And he was right.
He was not wrong at all.
Right. I mean, you even told me, Craig, when you're on the phone, set up, 15-minute segments. Now, and I know it's hard to do 15-minute segments. So I tell people at the beginning, when you're doing three-ways, at least put in 20-minute or half an hour segments with your upline per person, because you got to get to know the person. If I'm your mentor and I'm going to be doing the three-way call with you, we're going to pick up the phone and you're going to have 2 or 3 people that we're going to need to call. More the better.
Yep.
These are the people that are in the follow-up stage through the LinkedIn system that said they want to have a conversation.
Yep.
Then you're going to tell me we're going to go on LinkedIn together. I'm going to look at their profile with you. I want to find out as much as the upline, as much information as I can. If they're a warm market person, a friend, family member, coworker, you're going to tell me all about this person. You're going to give me just a little bit of background because I'm not going to go in cold.
Yeah, and you're nicer than me, because I would tell them to give me a rundown on what's important from their LinkedIn profile. I wouldn't go there with them because that's going to add another 5 minutes. They should have done that homework before they got me. right? I'm the busy guy. They think they're busy with 20-minute segments. I'm busier.
Exactly.
So I'd be pushing as much of the grunt work. They need to give me a quick 30-second brief on who we're talking to and what the hot points are, and then we go.
And it's just me because I'm a visual person, and I'm on LinkedIn anyways. It takes me 3 seconds to search them and find them. So I got a profile setting up so that I've got talking points in case I want to bring up something or I see something that my downline hasn't seen.
I'm just lazy.
I'm just telling you. Either way, I mean,
And usually I'm doing my phone walking around trying to get steps on my Fitbit. So I'm walking all over my house. I'm not in front of my computer. So
there you go. But the bottom line is you're going to have to find a little bit of information about the person first. That line's going to want that. Then the call, I'm going to tell you, 4 out of 5 times when you make that 3-way phone call, guess what? They either they don't answer the phone, it goes to voicemail, or they haven't looked.
That's right.
And that's expected because it's important for us. It's important for you. It's not important for your prospect.
That's right. And if you're using the Hour a Day app, you'll know if they looked, because as soon as they go through your survey and tell you what they thought about it, you're going to know that they've looked. So the advantage of the Hour a Day system is you eliminate one of those. You still phone and they don't answer. Okay. Let's face it. You still phone and they don't answer.
They see your number. They see your number.
7 o'clock. We agreed to talk at 7
o'clock. And they're like, oh, no, don't want to talk to him.
So that still happens. But at least the calling and, oh, I haven't looked yet, doesn't happen. Now, they might not have looked at much. They might have just looked at the bare intro stuff. So you still may have to get them to go do more. But at least you eliminate a certain percentage of those phone calls, which makes you more efficient, which is really all the Hour a Day system's about, making you more efficient with all this stuff.
Then the upline is going to do the work. You're going to introduce your sponsor.
Your job is to introduce and edify. This is Craig. You know, Craig is a huge earner, and he's been a massive help to me in growing my business, and he just knows all about this stuff. So I have him here to help answer any questions you may have, because I'm new and I don't know much.
Or because he may not be a huge earner. You know, Dennis, you know what? Dennis has been involved in business a little bit longer than I have.
Yep.
And Dennis is making money in the business, which is what I want to be doing. And he's going to be able to answer the questions that I might not be able to answer. That's why I have Dennis on the phone. Doesn't have to be a mega income earner to get somebody.
Right. And remember, you're not ambushing them. You told them at the time, gave them the information to look at first, that you would be calling to help answer their questions with another person who knows more about it than you do. So you're setting up the 3-way from the beginning. You don't ambush. You can ambush 3-way, but it's a way to lose friends. So I like saying it. They forget anyways, and they still feel ambushed, but then you can remind them you said it, and they're like, oh yeah, right, I did. So then they stop feeling ambushed.
Yeah.
So
and then your upline is going to do all the work. Your job after you introduce and edify. Yeah, we had to learn that the hard way.
Shut up. Stop talking. I don't care how important that thought in your head is in your mind. Don't say it.
Do not interrupt your sponsor, your upline, the person you just edified.
That's right. That's right.
You'll do it once. You might get away with it, but just a slap on the wrist.
If your upline's really good at what he's doing, you'll get away with it once. You'll be told, and if it happens again, they won't do 3-ways with you, because you're going to derail the whole thing, because you'll start talking about something that you think matters, which is going to make your prospect ask more questions, because most likely you're going to start trying to overcome an objection of yours with your prospect.
Yeah.
And he didn't have that objection until you told him. So don't do it. Just let your upline do his job and steer the conversation. It keeps it more professional. It keeps it more business-like.
And listen and learn, because you're going to learn what to say, because eventually you're going to be the upline. You're going to be the mentor for your downline. It's going to happen if you are in this business to make money and you want to build a team.
What if somebody says, is it one of those pyramids? What should I say?
Absolutely.
That's why I'm so excited about it. It's a way to leverage my time and earn a great income.
Why do you think I'm involved?
That's right.
I have that question all the time. I actually saw it. There was a big debate on LinkedIn about that. Right. What do you say to the pyramid objection? And I go, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with the pyramid. I mean, if they go into the further, I mean, what they're typally asking is, are you an MLM? Is it legal? Those MLM things.
One of those MLMs. Yes, it's one of those MLMs, but don't worry, it's one of the legal ones.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, and most of the time that objection is there because they have been involved or they've done it wrong, and they've been out there trying to push, sell, and convince people. They've been in 17 different companies. They go to every family reunion and everybody avoids them because they know they're going to be selling something out. I mean, they've done it wrong. Yeah. And it's okay if this is your 19th try.
or they might know somebody who did it wrong, and you're going to pay the price for that person who did it wrong. So just recognize where it's coming from. And you know what? If they hate MLM that much, then move on to the next person.
Exactly.
Like
LinkedIn's got millions of people on it.
That's right.
You know, that's why I use LinkedIn, because when somebody says, oh, I happen to, work in a skincare industry. And so when you connect with somebody, oh, I would never use one. And anybody that has a skincare MLM, you'll get this, because I would never use any. I only use professional products.
Right. Clinique.
I only sell professional products.
Right.
Well, that's great. I'm a professional. I love it when they say that. I'm a professional. Well, so am I.
That's right.
And you just got to know how to answer those questions. But if somebody has got their head so far up their professional hiney that they don't want to look at it, do you really want to work with that person? No. Stamp next on their forehead. And then that way, when I go and connect with them on LinkedIn, I'll know that they're already a loser. I don't want to talk to them.
And you know what? Think about it a little bit differently too. Be careful that you're not overreacting to what they're saying, right? They're asking you, is it a pyramid? And you're taking it personally. They probably aren't. They're probably asking what they thought was a legitimate question. So you also have to be really careful not to overreact, right? We're all convinced nobody likes pyramids. Nobody likes MLM. Okay, then why are we here? We're all in it, right?
Yeah.
I have lots of friends that love it.
And got lots of friends that don't.
And that's okay. I know lots of friends that are accountants and lots of friends that would rather cut off their legs than be an accountant. So isn't it good that not everybody loves it? Who cares? But just always understand that the way they're receiving your information and the questions they're asking, there's a very good chance that you're making more of their objection than they are. Is it one of those pyramids? Absolutely. That's why I'm so excited about it. We'll make most of the objections go, ah, cool.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of, oh, no, but didn't you know that every company is a pyramid? And how many presidents is a company?
Oh, do you look at the back of the dollar bill? There's a pyramid on the back of the dollar bill.
Yeah, right. And there's only one president of the country or prime minister. And then, there's no. Yeah, absolutely. That's why we're excited about it. Boom. Hang on. You just built confidence in yourself, right? Because you didn't react to it. If they're not interested in MLM, all this cutesy stuff you're saying isn't going to convince them to become interested in MLM.
Yeah. Is it a pyramid? Oh, do you mean, is it an MLM company? Absolutely. That's why I'm so excited. Simple.
Perfect answer.
Perfect.
Right? I get to leverage my time into a large income.
Why the heck do you think I'm involved in it? I've been doing network marketing, MLM, for over 20 years.
That's right.
Why do you think I've done that? Why do you think I had the lifestyle and was able to stay at home and raise my kids and go to all the hockey games?
Or better yet, if you're not making any money in MLM, of course. Why do you think I'm involved in it? You know that I've been working at that same old job for the last 20 years, and I'm just not getting anywhere, and there's no promotions, and I finally decided that it's time to go do something about it.
That's right.
Oh my God. Honesty? Really? Does that work?
It's worked for me. It's worked for you.
It's going to get you to a yes or a no faster than all this mucking about and trying to disguise it and trying to pretend that it's not what it is. And it is what it is.
You mean I shouldn't say I'm a second income specialist?
Oh, lifestyle engineer.
Oh, there we go. Have some, really neat. I mean, network marketing. Okay, you can soften it with that. I mean,
sure.
I don't. I just go MLM.
I go MLM because actually most people don't
even know what that is. Say what company you're with. Is it one of those pyramid things?
No.
Absolutely, it's MLM. What do you expect?
There's probably only one company name that you can use, and we all know it, that would get an almost guaranteed negative reaction.
Well, at least not negative, but at least would have an awareness of they know the company.
No, I'd even be willing to say that it would create a bit of a negative reaction. Right? We don't want to admit it, but the reality is, if there was name recognition, it's probably not positive.
That's right. So
that said, there's one on the entire planet that I know of that qualifies at that level. It's probably almost all, well, actually, and they don't really allow you to partake in other people's trading and stuff. So nobody's probably on this seminar.
Probably not.
So the point is, don't go there in your brain. Don't let yourself get all wrapped up in that stuff, right?
It's you know what, I think people think too much about it, but typically the objections that you're bringing out.
Company.
Yeah.
We distribute a line of health and wellness products. And I wouldn't even use health and wellness. It's too broad, right? You don't sell by being broad. It's ABC company. We sell a product that's amazing for your heart. Really? We sell health and wellness products. Bang on, I got a heart problem. So does that mean that's good for me? We got a heart product. Oh, wait, we got a brain product. We got an eye product.
We have a high-end skincare line.
Bingo.
High end. You know what? Now when you go,
line.
Exactly. So when you come back, and if they're used to using a $6 jar of Pond's, cold cream or something like that. They're or at least they're not going to be surprised when you say high end. They go, oh, I never buy high end stuff.
That's right.
Okay. Not everybody is your prospect, folks.
That's right. Not everybody.
Not everybody is. No matter what your upline is, not everybody's a prospect for your company. Not everyone is.
No.
I was listening to a friend of ours that Kim Flavor.
Oh, I love her.
She's great. She's got some great stuff out there. You want to get some great
Follow
materials.
her on Facebook.
You know what? I mean, I still use her stories that I learned from her 23 years ago from our first network marketing company. Still use the same stories.
She teaches you how to do it tough, just like I teach you how to do it tough. It's about finding the people for whom it's the right thing to be doing, not trying to convince the wrong people to do it.
Right. So why don't we show everybody here? So we talked about mentoring, how important it is. We've talked about three-way calls, how important it is. Why don't we show how easy it is to do if they've got a system that allows them to do it? Because and maybe you can just go into a little bit of why hour a day, because I appreciate the fact that I've had a lot of input into what you did, because it's your business. I mean, it's your baby. I mean, you spent a lot of time, a lot of money putting hour a day and Small Biz Dream for the non-MLMers. If you happen to be watching this and you're going, how do I get out of this thing? There's a non-MLM version if you have a small business. Maybe you can just give everybody just a short little Cole's Notes version of why Hour a Day was created, where the need was.
Hour a Day was created way back when by myself, because the need was me. I had 2 tape recorders with the recorded 6-minute call that we would play.
What's a tape recorder?
An MLM. I know, a cassette tape recorder. And I would literally have 2 phones going, and I'd be talking to someone, okay, listen to this. And I'd put the phone down by the tape recorder and I'd push play. And then I'd be talking to this person. And when they were about ready, I'd play that one and I'd pick up this one. If they were there, they were there. If they weren't, they weren't. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm not covering enough ground. So I actually built the framework of this system for myself as a sales funnel back in the days where video was just you just didn't have it on the internet. It was impossible, right? So there was audio files. And even back then, audio files weren't really compressed easily. So there were these massive files, and I stuck one up and I started directing traffic to this site, and I blew up my entire ISP. I created so much traffic that I used up their whole bandwidth allotment. He tried to tell me I owed him 12 grand for bandwidth overage. And instead he said, but on the other hand, that message is really cool. I'll tell you what, we'll call it even, show me what it is. And he joined. So
there you go.
It came out of my own need, and then it evolved out of our own need for a sales tool, because there wasn't anything that kept me on top of follow-ups. And now, of course, it's evolved yet again because we needed stuff to keep control of this insane world of social media. So it just keeps growing because Internetnextstep.com, the MLM software parent of Small Biz Dream and Hour a Day, uses it every day to grow its business. So we're always evolving with our clients, and the needs of the product are always evolving based upon us using it every day.
Right.
So it really came out of our own need.
Right. Then you came to me, and with having an actual company that I'm working with, and then what can my team, the team members of my company use, and then fine tuning it. And then I jumped in and started using it for prospecting. I had created my LinkedIn system a few years ago that I was sharing.
Yep.
And then you added the social media function
to work with,
it. And believe me, the difference, if I'd had it set up and did it the way that I'm doing it today, 3 years ago with all my prospects, I'd have a 3,000% different result.
I think you should stop crying. Stop talking, because you might start crying. I lost opportunity.
But now, having said that, I've been able to go back into my LinkedIn and prospects, stick them into the Hour a Day, and use the system, and been able to go and recycle them and bring them back to life. Because what Hour a Day does is keep you organized. You know, at the end of the day when your day is done.
Yes.
And you've even got more features coming up. We've been talking about that. And as it continues to grow and advance, the best part about it, Dennis, is it's free. Yes. Now, you make money with companies like me that end up then paying you to go and customize it.
Yeah.
And then eventually a user gets over the 2,000 free communications a month.
And I got to tell you, they're not even marginally hesitant to pay $29 a month for it at that point. They're completely sold on it. It's
because they're already making money. Exactly. I mean, literally using my system at 10 people a day, that's only 300 communications in the first month. Plus, maybe you might get to 600 or 1,000. You might go 2.5 months, 3 months before you get to 2,000 communications in a month with the system.
If you're only using it for your LinkedIn system.
That's only
if you're doing all your other stuff with it and you have an email newsletter going on and you're blasting out to your downline and training your downline and using it for all the other things you can use it for, it's going to save you more time, but you might get there a little faster. Maybe you got to pay for it by month 3. Who knows?
Yeah, but
it's $29 a month. So.
It's the best. It's the best $30 you're ever going to spend. Plus the fact that you got the app that goes to it, and the accompanying app just makes life so much easier. And I can tell you, I've been able to use the system both online and through the app. And I downloaded not only the Hour a Day app, but I've downloaded the LinkedIn app, and you can easily switch back and forth.
Well, you told me you called me when you were on a chairlift skiing, and you were doing your LinkedIn work on the way up the chairlift while you were skiing.
And you can do it anywhere.
I love it.
I mean, and that was the beauty of it, because you're not always going to be in front of your computer. It's a little less. It takes a few more seconds. It takes probably about another 30 seconds per connection, because you're switching back and forth between the apps.
Sure.
But to be able to go and do that,
I think it's because you didn't realize you can now switch between apps with a drag. You don't actually have to double.
Right. So I'm not gonna wear out my back button.
I'm not gonna wear out your button. Yeah.
Oh, swipe.
Back and forth between apps now.
So, anyways, when you think about how simple it is, it's really, really important to have a way to keep track of it. Now, I don't care what you use.
No,
I mean,
pick a system, any system.
Right. That's the one I happen to choose. I'm happy to help Dennis share it. It works well for me. I'm happy that I can share it with the people on our company team that want to build a business, because it's free to get started. We've already done all the setup.
Yep.
You know, so once you made a template,
you can just turn it
then
on.
you can. Dennis will turn that on so that your whole team can have your template.
Yeah, so we can work with you for an additional fee to help you set up a template that works specific to your team, and then make it available so that if your team signs up from URL, they automatically get your template. So there's no thinking involved. The thinking is the leader of the team setting it up to have the right words and have the right videos and have the stuff that he or she wants it to do. Then we turn that into something that your team just gets. And if they want to change it, they can change it. Yeah. But 99% of the people never change anything. So you just use it.